Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this trans voice modulation workshop. I am your host, Savvy, today, and I will teach you some techniques, some methods, and some things to get you to feminize your voice, masculinize your voice, or really make it sound whatever is close to your voice goals. So, first and foremost, I do need to make some things clear concerning voice health and hygiene. When it comes to voice, we always want to be doing some vocal warm-up, at least for 1 or 2 minutes. That can include lip trills like brrr, or like just holding your voice very gently for a little bit. The purpose of this is to help the vocal folds be properly hydrated and receive all the nutrients that they should receive through the blood flow. Another thing to mention is you should drink water at least 10 to 15 minutes. That is because the hydration process only happens through the distribution of water by blood flow. So just drinking the water will not hydrate the vocal folds instantly. So be sure to drink that prior to doing any voice work. I do talk about hydration, but what about dehydration? You might know that some substances such as coffee or smoking or alcohol are known to dehydrate the body. So please, if you're going to do some voice work, avoid doing both at the same time. You'll thank me later. Of course, if you cannot avoid any of these substances, which some of these can also be medication, hay fever medication, spironolactone, some of those you just can't stop taking for medical reasons. And, just try to work around it. The best thing I can say is if you take the medication in the morning, try doing your voice work in the evening or vice versa. Try to work around it. And if you can't, it's not the end of the world. It just makes it so that your voice will have less stamina and might, get fatigued more quickly, but it's not, like impossible to use your voice with those elements in play. So that's about it for vocal health and safety. So let's go to what is exactly voice. For the new faces in here, voice is something very simple, but also painfully complex. So I'll try to break it down into 3 main categories very simply. Voice functions based on the power source filter model. At least that's one model that's quite useful for understanding it. We have air within our lungs that we push up the trachea, which is this tube here, and once it reaches this space, which we call the larynx, it will set in motion little folds in them that we call vocal folds. You might have heard them called vocal cords, and this is what this refers to. So within the larynx, which is our voice box, we'll find the vocal folds, and they vibrate from bottom to top thanks to the air we provide from below. And they create a source sound. That source sound will then move up the larynx, no, not the larynx, up the pharynx, sorry, which is like this tube, and it can go out through the nose or through the mouth. And all of this space together constitutes the vocal tract. And now this is where it gets interesting because that vocal tract filters out the sound that we made from the larynx. And so with that filtering out, we can filter out the high frequencies by having a big vocal tract or filter out the lower frequencies by having a smaller vocal tract. And that's about it. That's the main thing that people don't really know about when it comes to voice feminization, masculinization. You might also have heard the word resonance thrown around. This is what it refers to, although the physical phenomenon of resonance has nothing to do with the way we use resonance here. So you'll hear me interchangeably use resonance vocal tract size. I do have a preference for talking about size to be a bit more accurate, but it's not the end of the world if you say the word resonance. Now, how does voice function again? We push air from our lungs, goes up the trachea, into the voice box. Vocal folds vibrate. They create a sound. The sound bounces around and gets filtered to become a really dark, big sound or a really bright, small sound. And that's all nice and well, but what is it that we're trying to work here with? Are we trying to get you to be doing like an anime girl voice or like, I don't know, like an extremely low masc voice from like a surfer dude or whatever? No, we're trying to work on the biological aspect of voice dimorphism. Sorry, let me rephrase this one. We're trying to work on the dimorphism caused by testosterone, or rather by the lack thereof. you may already know that testosterone is what differentiates a lot of our bodies when it comes to, voice, but also to the rest of the body. And so when it comes to voice, three things happen when testosterone affects your voice. The first thing is that your Adam's apple will eventually drop from ow. And by dropping, it makes the space a lot bigger, which results into a darker sound, right? So your ear can kind of tell that my body is bigger and larger because of that bigger vocal tract. The second thing that happens is that testosterone makes the fast vibrating vocal folds that are really short and small, they become like a lot longer, and they gain the ability to vibrate a lot slower. And by achieving this much slower vibration, they produce a much lower pitch. And that's the second aspect of testosterone when it affects your voice. The third aspect is that testosterone will eventually, just like in the rest of the body, increase vocal fold mass. So kind of, if you think about it, kind of like muscle. And so, then you'll get like a really thick and boomy voice. And this is really how a masc voice is produced, through the thickening of the vocal folds, through the lengthening and slower rate of vibration, and through a much larger vocal tract, which causes us to have a much darker, deeper voice. But when you're like me and you want to feminize your voice, you want to go the other way around. And so basically anything that I'm going to teach here can be worked in one way or the other to achieve a more femme voice or a more masculine voice. And we'll see a little bit about that in a second. Now, of course, testosterone is one thing, and for me, it's a cheat code that allowed me to make masc voices really easily. I'm not gonna lie, testosterone is a huge help when it comes to masculinization, but as you can tell, me being able to revert from a masc voice to a femme voice does prove that behavior modification and training of the voice does achieve a lot of effects. If I can do this, you can too. Now, let's move on to the next part. And for this, we're going to do some vocal warm-up. I did mention vocal health and vocal hygiene being really important. For this, you might want to unmute yourselves, and we'll try to do a few sounds together to get our voices ready for some work. Okay, so I'm going to start first. I'm going to show you what to do, and then we do it all together at the same time. Shush, you alarm. All right, let's go. I show you the sound first. On an O sound, as in the word old. Oh. Now let's try this one all together in 3, 2, 1. Very good. Awesome. Now let's try a different sound. I go first. This is going to be a Z sound, as in the word zoo. I go first. Let's try this all together in 3, 2, 1. All right, very good. And last sound here, we're going to do a lip trill. We bubble our lips, and I go first. Let's try this in 3, 2, 1. All right, very good. And with that, you can mute your mics again, and we'll move on to the next part of this session. Thank you for playing along. Now, for those who are new here, I try to get up on stage 2 people who want to work on feminizing their voices and 2 people who want to work on making their voices sound more masculine. Today, I'm going to start with femme voice to switch it up a little bit. So if you want to make your voice sound more feminine, please jump in place, raise your hand, or use the hand emoji. All right, so I'm seeing quite a few people here. Let's see, how about you close the dough? Have you already been on stage before?
No, I haven't.
All right, then come up on stage. Come on, come on. Everyone give a big round of applause to close the dough. Woo! All right. Welcome. Chloe, the
Hi.
door, Chloe. Hi, welcome. Okay, I'm gonna start a timer so I keep somewhat track of time because I'm not the best at this. But all right. Hello, welcome. Oh gosh, I hear some coughing. Is your voice all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I think so.
All right. Cool. I'm just checking that you're not sick so we don't do anything
I'm not
strenuous on your
sick.
voice. Amazing. Great. So I'm already hearing a lot of feminizing effects in your voice. How about you let me know what you are up on stage here today for?
Well,
Sentence.
I was just wondering what you think of my voice, if there's anything I could do. I've been working on it for 4 months at this point, I think.
All right, so like if I do a really rough comparison, like not a comparison, but like a really rough like mimicry of your voice, like I would say it's like kind of here. It's quite bright, it's quite high in pitch as well. It might be like leaning slightly on like the thicker side, like has a lot more texture than my voice would like be a lot thinner in that regard. Not a lot, just a little bit to be honest. So like I would say you're bordering a little bit on like heavier, but it does not make your voice less feminine. Like it just makes it tip towards a slightly heavier sound. So this is where it's important because you might want to think that for achieving a femme voice, you have to go really small vocal tract size, and you have to go really high in pitch, and you have to go super soft and small and cutesy and whatnot. But it's not a necessity. There is a lot of voices. There's a wide variety of voices and spectrums of voices. So your voice in that regard already checks the box of being a very small size, so a really bright sound, and a high pitch. And also, it's not like I say it's leaning thick, but it's not like leaning thick like, hello, how are you? It's like leaning slightly thick from like the medium, like kind of average. And so to me, that voice is perfectly fine. However, if you'd like to work on it some more, you might want to consider maybe making it softer. Perhaps you might want to learn to express yourself in different ways because the voice is not static. We might find a voice, but then there's like the different options of that same voice. You might want to like do that version of voice, but sad, angry, happy, questioning, like different moods.
Hmm.
So that's my quick review of your voice. But we can do a bit more if I get to hear your voice a little bit more in some practice sentences. Do you want to try those?
Sure.
All right. Has the slide loaded for you there?
Yeah, it has. Did I just
All
start reading?
right. Sure. Do start reading.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Okay. Hello, good morning. How are you? I'll have a cup of coffee, please. Ah, I forgot to take my hormones. Are you really sure about that? I think I have a craving for pickles.
Ooh,
No,
nice
I totally
intonation.
agree with that. No, that can't be right. Oh, is it Blaha or Blowhigh? I never know how to say it.
I think it's like bloa high. It's like the ah is
Okay,
like
well,
an aw, I
oh,
believe.
okay, Blowhigh is my favorite shark. Okay, I couldn't figure out how to say it.
It's honestly it's totally fine. The only thing I might have like a bit of a disagreement might be the I totally agree with that because it's a bit thick and a bit low in pitch. So generally, the way I tend to look at voice is like you have a bunch of sliders, right? Like your voice is multi-dimensional. You might be very bright or very dark. That's the slider of brightness. You might be very heavy. You might be really soft. That's the slider of vocal fold mass, how much you engage of it, how much you disengage of that, and the slider of pitch, really high pitch, really low pitch. And so here, you are still bright. I totally agree with that. But that lower pitch here, it's kind of like together, the low pitch and the slightly leaning heavier weight kind of starts to get in that androgynous territory. Not
How?
specifically masc, because okay, this is another problem. Like perception of femme voice is not like you're not set in stone in femme voice, right? Like they're not set in stone in any gender really, because when you speak over time, your voice evolves a lot, right? You move up in pitch, you have different emotions, different moods, and so more often than not, people who are kind of like just starting with voice work, they kind of do, like 50% of their sentences might be really femme and 50% might be more androgynous. And they're like, yeah, let's throw all of it away, when they don't realize that half of the sentences and half of the sounds are actually done properly. Because our brain kind of does a lazy average. And if it's slightly off, they're going to just like throw it like, oh, that's wrong, you know? But you should like assess things on like a smaller scale. In your case, I totally agree with that. Just that is the issue. So like a percent of your phrase. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm not very good with math, so no, it's like a fifth of your sentence. Is what I meant to say. So we could try this one again if you want. I totally agree with that, and go softer on the lower end, on the lower pitch. Sorry.
Okay, I totally agree with that.
That's better. I totally agree with that. Okay, it's still leaning slightly thick.
I
totally agree with
that.
Well, now you did. I totally agree with that. So you just intonated more. You added more melody and higher pitches for my brain to take it and be like, okay, wow, that's a wider range. That sounds more feminine. So in a sense, you made it more feminine on the pitch, but still we have this. I totally agree with that. We have to look at what pitch that is here. So I totally agree with that. That's an E3. Whoops. So let's take that pitch here. And let's just say the word that a few times. That. Right. So now you can take that here and make it really, really thick. That. Very good. Now let's take that. And take the ah sound and slowly slide it thinner and thinner. So that. And then just tap it gentle. That. Yeah. And then I totally agree with that.
Okay. I totally agree with that.
There you go. Beautiful. All right. So this is important, right? Because this is like kind of around the end of the sentences. You might feel like, yeah, your voice loses a bit of that power, a little bit of that loudness. But if you want to be louder, I would have you consider maybe like going for higher pitches. By the way, talking about higher pitches, your intonation on I think I have a craving for pickles was like, I think I have a craving for pickles. Like it shot like way up. That was an incredible intonation. So like your pitch control is really good. I would just urge you to watch out for the lower pitches that can sometimes trail off a little bit thicker, and you might want to like reduce how much power you have behind them. Whilst that power might sound all femme and bright and shiny at higher pitches, there's that risk that's not null that lower pitches will, sound a little bit too textured for what you would expect for a femme voice, and thus lean more masc. Okay. But other than that, that was really good. All right. And with our time up, do you have any questions before we wrap up?
No, but no, I don't think I have any questions. But I just started using this voice in public with my friends.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Yeah.
And I got gendered correctly by a stranger for the first time ever.
Yes. Let's go. Woo! If I can get a big round of applause to Chloe. Woo! That's amazing. So you were able to get to there all on your own, basically. Well, maybe some work and help here and there, but yeah, that's amazing. Just keep it up. Just polish the rough edges, and you should be good to go. Keep up the good work, Chloe.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, good job. Woo! And now, next up on stage, I want to see someone who wants to work on making their voices sound more masculine. If you want to make your voice more masculine, please jump in place like this, or raise your hand, or use the hand emoji. Do we have anyone interested in making their voices more masculine? All right, I see one person over here, Waylerm. Am I pronouncing this correctly? All right, come up on stage. Come on. Hi, hello. All right.
Hi.
Let me just set a timer so I don't lose track of time. All right, Waylerm, hi, welcome. Yeah, everyone give a big round of applause to Waylerm. Woo! All right, so hi, welcome here. Is this the first time that you are in this a workshop setting or?
Yeah, it's my first time, very first time.
All right, well then, welcome. What brings you here? You want to make your voice more masculine. Let me just ask
Yeah.
you this then. How familiar are you with the terminology such as brightness, darkness, vocal folds, mass, whether it's really heavy and buzzy or whether it's really soft and light? Are you familiar with these concepts?
I think a little. I've already do something in this area to do my voice better, and I'm to honest a little shy to change my voice, but okay. Um, well, I think I can do something like this. It's when
Okay.
I do my pitch a little lower.
Yeah. Keeping your
Uh,
pitch lower. Yep. Very good. That's
yeah,
very good. That's a good start.
and like I do my voice more heavier. Like um, I know
hmm
exercise when you have to do like um and trying to do something, speaking like that. But for me,
Okay.
it's more difficult thing.
No, I get it. And as I mentioned before, I've had the poison or the blessing, depends on the lens you're looking at this, of testosterone, right? So for me, it was pretty much just given that I could go for really low pitches. I mean, then there was some practice to really get most of it, but like it's not, like testosterone definitely helps, hormones definitely do help, but we'll see what we can do with what you got. So first of all, I want to hear a slide from your highest pitch down to your lowest comfortable pitch. Give it a try.
Okay. Um.
hmm
Ah.
That's an E3. Very good. Bordering D sharp 3, actually. Yeah, very good. Cool. All right, let's go to the sentences real quick. How's the slide behind you loaded for you?
Yeah, I see.
Oh, whoops. All right, let's try this. Can you try and go back to the slow pitch and try to read that mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mud brat sat on that flat mat.
That's very good. That mad brat sat on that flat mat. It's very good. All right. So now, how about like you make your mouth really large, like you like really drop your jaw, like make that mouth really big. Oh, that mad brat sat on that flat mat. Try that.
That mud brat that on that flat mat.
All right,
Uh,
cool. Like that helps a little bit with darkness, but let's talk a bit about darkness. I mentioned brightness, darkness, and vocal tract size. These are concepts you're familiar with. Have you done some exercises to explore how your voice could be darker?
only this exercise that I have shown you before. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so let's try this then. The point of brightness exercises is that they allow you to hear just the darkness or the brightness of your voice. AKA, it's just a whisper that gets pitched or tuned due to, thanks to the width or size of your vocal tract. To do this, what I want you to do is just give me a whisper on the word cat. Can you say the word cat?
Cat.
Can you say this sentence, pat that cat, on a whisper like this? Pat, pat, cat.
Cat.
Very good. And I want you to say the word cat, and we're going to scale down like cat, 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 pat, that cat. Now the cat is really large and big. Pat that cat. Try it out.
Cat. Okay.
Oh gosh, oh no. So something you might want to be aware of is that whilst this is really powerful because you can hear you can hear like trail down in terms of pitch, quote unquote, it's also like a whisper. So it can be drying to the throat. Be sure not to like do whispers with too much frictions. These can make your voice much more dry, much more tired, much more quickly. So be sure to go slow with those, okay?
Okay.
So, now as you do this, what I want you to do is take your hand and put it gently on your neck. Can you feel a bump on your neck? However big or prominent that might be, we all have a larynx, and you should find it on your neck. Can you find it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Right, awesome. And with that done, what I want you to do is say the word cat again, really bright. Cat. And then you're going to go back towards a darker cat. And I want you to tell me what you feel under your fingers. Try it out.
And this
Sounds
my
good.
max level.
Yeah, and so it sounded dark. But what did you feel with your fingers?
Like this bubble in my neck.
It's a bubble,
Goes
sure. Yeah.
down lower.
Yes, it goes down. And because it goes down, there's now more space in your neck, quite literally. More space means that darker frequencies are more emphasized. And so, darker frequencies, I meant to say lower frequencies, but that's darkness. And so, now that you have this, you can try to bridge from that dark cat into a full voice. So a whisper is when the vocal folds are completely open. Remember, the vocal folds are the thing that close and open and vibrate and create pitch. You call them vocal cords, maybe. And so they're open on the whisper. Cut. Our goal is to go from cut to cut with the vocal folds that are closing. So we want to go cut. Cut. Try it out.
Okay.
Find that dark cat again, and then go whisper, breathy, full voice. Yes.
My maximum level of doing this cat maximum lower, yeah?
Whatever is comfortable. Like it shouldn't be so low that like strains and it doesn't allow you to do the voice at all. So something that feels comfortable enough, like low as possible, but nothing
Okay.
that like would make your voice impossible to use. That would make it impossible to use your
Okay.
voice.
Cat. Okay, no, I didn't get
It's okay. Let's
how
try
I
this.
can do it.
Yeah, and then yeah, and then from here, God, and then can you say, God, that mad brat, yeah. God, that mad brat, yeah.
That my
God.
brat sat
Oh.
on that flat mat.
That's great, awesome. That mad brat sounded off on that. Now we want to try to make it slightly louder, so cut. Yes. Keep it up. Yeah. Yeah, and then from here, cut. That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mad brat sat on the flat mat.
That's very good. That mad brat sat on that flat mat. Okay, nice. So we have now an even darker version of your voice. One that has a little bit more weight to it. It's still like kind of, going like, that mad brat sat on that flat mat. So it kind of moves around a little bit in brightness, like your larynx moves up and down a little bit. But with practice, you can get this to be more stable and much more masculine leaning on the long term. That was really good. Good job. All right. With our time over, we're going to wrap it up here for you. Do you have any questions before going off stage?
No, I think I haven't. Thank you.
You're super welcome. Remember, cut. Let's go. Yeah. That mad rat. You're welcome. All right, everyone, give a big round of applause to Whaler. You killed it. Woo!
Woo!
All right. Oh, quite a few people showed up. Now, next up on stage, I want to see someone who wants to make their voices more feminine. All right, people were already ready for this. So, I see here Moens for, yes? All right, come up on stage. Come on, come on, come on. Everyone give a big round of applause to Moens for. Wow! Hello, hi,
So,
welcome.
hey,
Yes.
thanks for having me up. So,
You're welcome.
I do warn, I am a little bit sick, but I'm coming out of it. But my throat isn't sore. It's more just, it's
Good.
not ideal, but
Not ideal. Yes.
but like I haven't really done any voice work yet. But my accent, I feel, maybe is a bit of a hindrance in terms of feminizing my voice.
Your accent.
I'm still quite
Hmm.
new to this, but
Okay.
I kind of more than like I still want to like raise my voice pitch a little bit, but more than anything, I'm wanting to like soften it because I feel like it is quite thick as you describe it. I think that's just pretty default with my accent, and I'm not sure what exercises to do because I was doing other exercises like the cat one. You go like cat, 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 like you go for like the higher pitched cat voice thing to like uh raise your resonance. I was doing a little bit of that, but I don't know how to soften that thickness. I'm not sure what mechanism I need to practice for that. If that makes sense. So
It
I'm
absolutely
almost wanting
does.
more of a. I'm
Hmm.
almost wanting like still a fairly not dark, but like a softer female voice that's like still got a little bit of depth to it. That would be sort of more what I'm aiming for, but I'm not sure how to do that.
Right. You're not aiming specifically for like a really high bright fan voice. You would like to like kind of chill lower, like more around this range, kind of like chilling. Is
Yeah.
this what you're saying? Yeah. Okay. Cool. We can try this. First and foremost, we're gonna get your voice to be really soft right now. Mask voice is about using low pitches. That means longer vocal folds that vibrate slower, but just because they vibrate slower doesn't mean that they use less air. In fact, they might use more because with those longer vibration cycles, often comes
Mm.
together with a lot more mass and to get more texture. Because after all, these are low frequencies, and low frequencies don't really pierce through like loud sounds. So the method here is to reduce the vocal weight. And to do this, we can do a very simple thing. Not provide enough air to your vocal folds so that they just can't do it in the first place. So what I want you to do here is to say the word hot, like hot.
Hot, right?
Very good.
Hot.
That's right. When you say the word hot, you have the H sound there. That's just straight up air. Hot, right? That's a lot of air. Then your vocal folds close and you get the ha. A lot of air, thick sound. Ha. Now you want to try to make that
Ha.
H sound softer. Breathe in, not, breathe out, not hot, but hot. Try to soften it, like, let's go super chill, like super quiet. Hot. Try it out.
Okay. Hot. I don't know.
It's
Hot.
okay. Very good.
Hot.
Hot. Okay. And now I want you to take just an
Hot.
H sound here, and you want to try to go H sound, a lot of air all at once, like. Okay, you might want to change your settings with your mic real quick so that your mic is open. So go to your sound settings in vrchat, scroll down to microphone, make sure that the noise suppression is turned off and that the mic activation threshold is set down to 0%. All good on your end?
Okay, yeah, I've set
Yes.
it to 0. Okay, so like, so it's like hot, but we want to do.
All right. Yes. So you do Then you do it's twice as long. Okay, it's still not coming through. You might have some settings, whatever. I'll have to trust you and what you hear as we go along. Now you make it twice as long. Okay, and as you do this, you might notice that the slower the airflow gets, the quieter it gets. Does that track so far?
Yeah, we bet, yeah.
Okay, so then let's make it as long as possible, like.
Let me try
Good.
again.
If you run out of air too quickly, that means you pushed too much air.
Okay, so we're trying to push less air or more
That's
air
correct.
or
We're trying to push
less
less
air.
air, but the way we do this is
Okay.
it's not by preventing air to come out, because some people do like, they like clench the vocal folds around it. That's not what we want to do. We want just to better control the airflow with like our diaphragm, with our lower back muscle, with some of our like chest muscles. You can like learn to breathe, kind of. It's kind of breathing exercises.
Yeah.
And then once you get this really slow airflow, I want you to try to make it completely quiet. Can you breathe out whilst making no sound? You can. Have you already tried to play dead
Yeah.
before?
Not in a while.
Not in a while. What a question. What an answer. Okay, so like play dead. Like, you know, corpses don't move, so you should still need to breathe because you're pretending you're not actually dead, right? So, and if you do
So-
this, you still breathe out, but it's silent. Your vocal folds are completely out of the way, and your airflow is really slow. Can you get to that point? Oop.
I think so. So
Yeah.
okay.
All
So
we've done so far is make your airflow slow. Yes?
okay, yeah. So I need to practice making the airflow slow.
But we're not done yet. Let's try this. Now, what I like to do is remember the word hot. We had hot, like a lot of mass. But now what happens
Yeah.
if you say just ought, but the H is there, it's just silent. So you would get like
Oh.
like a really, really quiet sound. Yes, there you go, you're starting to get it. And then I want you to try and speak like this without going louder. Really try to stay on that really quiet sound. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Too far.
Huh?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
letting loudness come back in, and with that, the
Okay.
vocal fold mass. And now what you want to try here is go higher pitch. Let's try to say that mad brat, still really soft. That mad brat.
That mad brat sat
Good catch.
on that flat cat mat.
Good. So now it's still leaning a little bit thick, but it's a lot softer than before. How would you have said that normally? That mad brat. Now it's more like that mad brat. Still a bit heavy, but like soft as heck, right? Like that mad brat, at least in comparison. And so as you learn to do this, that mad brat, you kind of want to couple that with brightness. So let's try to say the word that on a whisper. Thoughts.
That.
Thoughts. And then we scale that brighter. Thought. Good. But remember, the whisper has to be really soft. Otherwise, really thick sound on the output. So, that. Yes.
That mat brat
Yes.
sat on that flat mat.
Very good. Yes. You just did that mad brat sat on that flat mat. Very good. You can try to move the pitch around a little bit. Might make your voice more unstable, but still go very slow. That mad brat.
That
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Careful, you went heavier.
That mad brat.
No,
Sad.
careful. Brat. Go soft again. Brat.
Mad brat.
Good.
Sat on that flat mat.
So we are getting a little bit darker over time, but you know,
Yeah.
not like this is difficult. You're juggling with brightness, with softness at the same time. Like you just learned how to make your voice softer, so you're gonna have to like practice this a little bit. Make it more yours. Make it a tool that's on your tool belt and that you use often. And yeah, then you couple that all together from like really thick that mad brat to that mad brat. Then make sure that's really bright.
Yeah.
That
Mad brat.
Careful here.
Sad.
It got dark again.
Yeah.
That mad. You could like take your hand and put it on your neck. I think you're doing it right now. Yeah, to make sure that the Adam's
Yeah.
apple doesn't drop. Don't hold it in place, of course.
That-
Just use that as a way to monitor.
No.
Yeah.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Okay, good. We're still a bit too dark, perhaps. But also the pitch is not helping. The pitch is C#3. That's a bit too low, even for a low fem voice. Like if I talked at C#3 all the time, that would be what it sounds like. For me, a low fem voice would be like da 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 da. Like I would like talk up here for low fem voice, which is like an F3, perhaps F3 or E3.
F3.
Match my pitch here.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Take your time.
So
Yeah.
cat.
That mad brat. There, you dropped the pitch again. Yeah, there you go.
Brat sat on that flat mat.
You dropped on that mad brat sat on that flat mat. But it's okay. But like that was the most fem I heard you so far. Like it's soft, it's leaning bright, it's high enough in pitch to be fem. I know your objective is to go for a lower fem voice, but I would advise you to still work towards like a more medium or higher pitched fem voice. Low fem voices are absolutely possible to do, but they kind of ask you to feminize pitches that are available in your masc range as well. So it's kind of tricky to play around with, right? With higher pitches, it's pitches you never use in your masc voice or in your day-to-day life, right? So it's all new uncharted territory that you can just like do good from the get-go. Whereas here, with those lower pitches, they're already kind of charted territory by your masc voice, right? Like just because my voice goes high in pitch does not mean that my voice sounds femme. Here, this is a really, like masculine voice with a really high pitch. But, you know, it's because the darkness is there, very big vocal tract size and so on and so forth. But I've held you hostage long enough. You've done very well. Do remember to practice that softness exercise. And also, this is something you can practice passively, you know?
If you're out and about using your masc voice around people, you could just start by making your masc voice more soft whenever possible. So, you know, like that would already help you in the direction of when you need to work on femme voice, your masc voice is already soft. I guess it's a slippery slope that makes your voice more femme. What a shame. I tricked you in sounding femme. All right.
No,
but that was really good.
So yeah, softening the voice is sort of like slower but with less air. Really is the sort of, so it's more about breathing in a way.
So, all right, I'm using a shortcut here because we're short on time. Normally, like here, I can use a femme voice with a lot of air and yell and be loud, right? But I learned how to make my vocal folds thinner and use them in a more thin manner. For you, it might be hard to acquire at first. Using less air is the first thing you can do to get habitualize your voice to using less mass and be softer. Over time, that mad brat, you're going to be able to find a louder sound whilst using less of the vocal fold mass, because you're going to rely on the closure of the vocal folds that properly works with the airflow that you provide to it. Okay? So for now, try to practice being quiet and soft, and then slowly push your voice louder without letting the buzziness come back in. Okay?
All right. Thank you very much.
You're super welcome. Everyone give a big round of applause to Moens. Woo! Oh gosh. Oh, how long am I going to have my hands for? Not a long time. Okay. So let's see. Last but not least, I want to see someone up on stage who wants to make their voices sound more masculine. If you want to make your voice more masculine, jump in place, raise your hand. All right, I see Rain over here. Have you already been on stage before, Rain?
Once before, but that was like a year ago.
Has been a year ago and we have no one else for mask voice? All right, come up on stage, Rain. Come on, come on. Everyone give a big round of applause to Rain. Woo! Hello, welcome, hi. All right. I'm starting a timer so I don't lose track of time. Perfect. All right, hi Rain, welcome back. A year has passed. How's life been? How's your voice work been coming along, most importantly?
So my voice used to be higher, but I am on testosterone. So
all right.
This is what it kind of sounds like when I'm just regularly coughing.
Yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, I kind of hear the vibe. Like it's already like a lower, like I would say like it's like a high androgynous voice, but like it has that definitive buzziness, right? That really like helps with that like androgyny leaning mask here. The pitch might be like a little bit too high still, and maybe it's still a bit too bright. So we're gonna see what we can do with practice. So first of all, can you give me a slide from your highest pitch down to your lowest pitch, because that's bound to have evolved with your testosterone.
Okay.
Take it slow. Take it easy.
Let me turn my thing down to 0. There we go.
Sure thing. Thank you.
Ow.
All right. Ow. And then try to hold the low pitch.
Oh.
What's the pitch here? Ooh, C sharp 3. Ooh, nothing to. Wow. Okay, that's quite low. Beautiful. Okay. Oh, can you try and hold that low pitch here? Ooh, and try to speak with it a little bit. Just try to lead in. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Rain. It's been a while. Hi.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. How about you let me know about, I don't know, like, that mad brat, that sad or that flat mad? Yeah. How about you let me know about that thing? Yeah.
The mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Okay,
like you're more like you're that mad brat sat on that flat mat. So it's still like slightly bright leaning, but like the pitch is definitely low. That's good. So now we're gonna go back to make your voice a bit darker. Remember about the cat? We whispered about the cat, I heard. We whispered the words cat, cat. Can you whisper the word cat again, like in the good old times? Cat, cat. Yes, but I remember you whispered them darker. So let's go. Cat, 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 dark cat. All right, very good. Cat. And once we have those dark whispers, we tend to go whisper, breathy, full closure. Pat that cat. Yeah, okay. Remind me again about that mad brat? I didn't hear clearly. Cat, that mad brat sat on that flat mat.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Very good. That mad brat sat on that flat mat. And then we try to push the loudness tiny bit. By increasing the vocal fold mass. that man
Oh.
brought.
Ah!
The
Not again! Ah! It's okay.
that flat mat sat on that flat mat.
Yes.
That man sound of that.
Okay. All right. Very good.
English is
And-
hard.
I know. Do you speak other languages than English, by the way? Or just English is hard by
No,
default?
English is hard for me. I am English has always been hard.
Yeah, no, same. My native language has been always hard to me, so I totally get you. So,
That man brought sound on that. Okay, that's very good. Cool, cool, cool.
I love that. Can we hear some more, like from the other sentences, like,
the crowbar opened the subpar car.
The sub bar opened the sub bar door, the crowbar, and then
Yeah,
I
remember. Yeah, I remember the crowbar. Yeah.
I fucked up.
All right, so like we take the crowbar and we open a box, but it's so hard to open the box. Like we try to open it, it goes like the crowbar. Like put some exercise in this crowbar.
try this out.
Okay.
Yeah.
The crowbar opened the subpar door.
All right, try to like imagine you're holding the crowbar and you're trying to open a really hard box. Crowbar. Hold that ass
Like,
there.
like that.
Yeah, like that. Crowbar. And then try to hold that effort in your voice. The crowbar.
The crowbar open.
It's okay.
I'm too giggly for this.
Oh, no,
the
yeah.
The crowbar opened the subpar door.
The crowbar. You can read the sentences on the board if you're lost for these, you know? You don't have to just listen to me. I don't know if you're reading those, but the crowbar opened the subpar car. I guess they're tongue twisters, aren't they? But okay. That being said, the crowbar opened the subpar car. Fun fact, by the way, giggles do tend to make the voice a little bit darker because the larynx tends to relax a lot. But it also... Okay, but it also makes the vocal folds a bit thinner because, like, when you laugh, you generally laugh like, oh, you might like even like with a masc voice, you might laugh like, you never laugh like, with like a lot of weight because that's kind of like pain and anger, and it's kind of like the opposite of laughing, you know. So,
Yeah.
oh, I guess some people when they laugh, they do sound like they're hurt. I definitely can feel that, but like most of the times, if you're giggly, it's gonna make having a thicker voice harder. But okay, like the main thing I have to say is prior to doing any practice here up on stage, your voice is already like definitely a lot thicker. Like just the way you speak, like even if it's like a bit bright, like it's like able to reach like C#3. It's definitely like heavier than what you had before. I do remember they had like a lot softer voice, and you didn't even have those low pitches in the first place. So like now it's definitely seemed to have helped. Yeah. Here what we've done here, we've made your voice darker. We've made your voice lower in pitch, around like C#3. I mean, I haven't done anything. That was all you, really. You might want to like practice a bit more, getting attuned to using a bit of a heavier voice. I feel
Yeah,
like
my voice has always been soft. So.
like it's always been soft, but like now it's kind of switching and changing, and I lost my second hand. I'm handless. What am I going to do now? Okay, whoops, I'm going to charge it next time. But anyways, yeah, that is pretty much it for you. I would say like see how testosterone makes your voice evolve. Do keep practicing and tracking how low you can go in pitch and how loud you can make your voice comfortably, that is, at low pitches. Do not be afraid to push your voice a little bit more. It's it can be helpful as long as you don't hurt yourself and you listen closely to your body.
Yeah, I
you should be more
struggle
than fine.
hearing what I sound like in my head to what I sound like in real life because it sounds different.
It always sounds different. So like you always sound brighter, higher pitched in no, you always sound lower pitched in your head than you actually sound like. Because you hear the lower vibration of the bone conduction go through your ears. So, like, for example, my voice, I hear it slightly bassier than it actually is. And it's the same for you. So it can be a bit tricky. I would recommend like playing with recordings a lot more, like kind of seeing how that goes for you. And yeah, kind of like using that as a way to feedback. But other than that, like, even if your voice does lack the vocal fullness, it has a lot more than before. So definitely try to use some of that. Careful not to mistake brightness with buzziness. Brightness with heavier vocal weight, right? Because what you might do is you have like a thick sound, but you also couple it with a brighter sound. So definitely go for bigger, darker sounds. You are capable of going so dark. You should try and dabble a bit more of that, I think. Okay? All right. That's pretty much all I got for you.
right,
Rain, I wish you the best for your voice. And I guess see you next year or maybe around. I don't know.
Yeah, I come in every once in a while, kind of
Heck
most
yeah.
of the time just sit there, just listening.
Hell yeah. All right. Awesome. I'm glad you do that. All right. Everyone give a big round of applause to Rain. Woo! I swear I'm clapping. Yeah. There we go. Okay, hands are back for a little bit, but we are soon to wrapping up the workshop. Oh my, so many people. Rory, do we have any questions on Twitch or Discord? Or also V? Hi. Hello. All right. Any questions from Discord then?
I've posed asking if anyone's had any, but I don't have any either.
All right. Well, I'll take 2 questions from the audience if any of you want to ask something. Come closer, please. Come closer, come closer. So people can also hear you. Get close enough to the stage. All right. I'll take 2 people. All right. It's going to be Little Crow here and Lyra Piranha VA. All right. Melatonin, go first, please. What's your question about? Come closer, come closer.
Me?
Yeah, you. Didn't you want to ask a question?
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
have something a little off topic.
Oh,
I
not
a
voice
long-
related?
No, a long time ago, I was banned from the other group, the Trans Academy. I was just wondering how I can get unbanned.
Oh, you want to go through the ticketing system on the Trans Academy Discord?
I already tried that, but it's way too hard because it takes a while, and I don't know what to do next. And I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of dumb.
I guess you should I think like one of the issues you might have is like the ticketing system sometimes doesn't track your tickets, so you might want to click like a follow button or whatever, or like ping whatever a person was following your tickets and do follow that up. But I cannot help you here. I'm just teaching here, so.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry I couldn't help anymore. All right, Lyra, what's your question about?
Hello, I'm Lyra. I've been doing vocal feminization for a while. I've been trying to perfect my voice. A lot of what you've done has also helped me. But one question is, what could I do to better get an understanding of the feminization pattern in my voice without losing it?
You're trying to get a better understanding of your voice, yet you've used that understanding to get to where you are. That's a bit confusing to me.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Not too long ago, so.
Okay.
My brain's not braining.
Could you maybe try to rephrase that question?
I lose my voice sometimes, so I'm like trying to keep it.
All right. As by losing, you mean like kind of like trails down over time back to like whatever it sounded before practice, or is that am I understanding that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. So like unfortunately that's something that just practice will fix. Do you still use your masc voice from time to time?
Very little.
Very little? Okay. How long have you been using the fem voice for?
I would like to say for about 6 to 8 months.
6 to 8 months. Okay. completely switched off from like masc voice, I would say like there's still like some time for habitualizing your voice. Like you might want to like, just like see how that evolves. In terms of like keeping your voice up there, it's good to have like mantra phrases or like mantra sounds. Like what I like to do to keep my voice up is, well, I don't really do it anymore because like I've used this voice like maybe 5 years now, so it's really well ingrained in my like muscle memory and my behavior. For you, it's still a little bit fresh and young. So like some words, like, people say pat that cat, or heat from fire, fire from heat, or I don't know, one, two, three, four. Like there's different ways to set up your voice, but a more like conversation friendly type of practice would be to like practice filler words. Like when you say things like or yeah, or like when you just like think, you just like do these little thinky sounds, these filler words. So like feminizing those as best as you can and resetting your voice during conversation, mid-conversation, using those can be a great tool to get your voice to stay sharp and go back to that point. Okay?
Yes, thank you.
You're very welcome. All right. And because, yeah. Okay, I'll take one question from Twitch and I will take one question from the audience and then we'll be wrapping it up. All right, what's the question from Twitch? Rory, please. Oh gosh, that's a really rare question. Okay. How to say in the masc voice? By using pretty much the same components we use to masculinize the voice. It's very different to sing and to speak, but at least the concepts of brightness are going to be really important. In terms of singing, I think a really good and accessible masc voice to sing to would probably be opera singing. I know it sounds weird, but like opera singing does have the quality of having like a really big vocal tract. Like, it sounds really dark. You think like of like Figaro, 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 and it's like high pitched but really dark. So it's like a really good thing for like trance masks who want to like learn to sing in masc voice, because it's kind of like it's close to what they can do without too much training. And it like really helps you solidify that darkness. But then eventually, if you want to do the lower pitches, then you're gonna have to eventually do the work of slowly working towards lower pitches, and you might be limited to what you have practiced so far. So then it's a matter of like doing softies, doing vocal warm-ups, doing lip trills, as low as you can to like help your voice ease into those lower pitches. That's pretty much the advice I have for you. But depending on what you're trying to sing to, the answer is going to be wildly different. If it's operatic, if it's rock, if it's pop, it's going to be really different. All right. I hope that answers your question. Best of luck with your masc voice singing. And I saw you interest, Celestia. You had a question for me?
Yeah, I just struggle a lot with like being disciplined outside of like these kinds of like workshops and stuff. Like what's like your advice on like trying to stay consistent when it comes to practice?
That's the age-old question. Try to like find try to like, I don't know, like typically I work a lot with like alarms and with like things in my calendar, because I would not function as a human being if I did not have any reminders that are outside of me. So then I can just forget anything happens until something rings on my phone, So like, set an alarm on your phone around when you wake up to like remember to warm up your voice and do like maybe like not 10-15 minutes of practice, but like just 1 minute of just, okay, let's think about fem voice. Let's think about what we do generally to feminize the voice, and just do that. And when you're in settings where you kind of have to wait things out, like some people practice in the car, I would say only if it's safe to do so. Of course, like don't practice fem voice on the highway. I would advise against that typically. But like, when you're making food or under the shower and there's some like downtime, like this is the great settings that I like to use to work on my voice myself because there's nothing else to do. I mean, I could have, I could like brain rot on TikTok, or I could like brain rot with doing funny voice sounds, So yeah, that would be my recommendation, to insert your practice where you would usually do the TikTok brain rot. Or maybe do both at the same time. Try to mimic the voices that you hear on the TikToks. That's even better. Then you get the brain rot and the femme voice. Perfect, if you ask me. But yes, I hope that helps you with practice, to stay more consistent. Set yourself up alarms. Don't think that you should like practice every single second of the day, but here a little bit here and there, it's a less daunting, it's more feasible, and you kind of make it a part of your routine and of your daily life, so it slowly creeps into your brain and you use it more and more. Okay,
thank you.
All right, perfect. And with that, I'm going to wrap up today's workshop. All right, thank you all for showing up today. Many, many faces, many questions, and people I couldn't get to. But this is why I do these every Sunday. So for those who couldn't get up on stage, you'll have your opportunity next Sunday, as per usual. So, yeah. I'll be wrapping it up. So, hey everyone, if you enjoyed this workshop, I also teach lessons on my Discord server called Scientifically Augmented Voice. You can find me on Discord over there, or you can just click my bio in vrchat right above my head, and you will find over there a link to my Discord server. Why would you want to go there? Well, there's a community that works on voice that could give you some feedback on voice, but also I do public lessons over there that you might want to listen to if you want to have even more stuff to practice to, or to listen to get some more voice work done. All right. If you want perhaps to schedule a lesson with me, you can DM me on Discord at savvy_sav, all in small letters. We can discuss pricing, offering over there, and scheduling over there. So yeah, don't be afraid to reach out. I don't bite, even if it's for simple questions. All right. Well, everyone, thank you for showing up today. My name is Savvy. I teach voice feminization, voice masculinization, and voice androgynization. I also teach voice acting and singing, but I also teach something really fun called human beatboxing with sounds such as So if you learn any of that, you can find me on Discord with all the information I gave you before. All right, everyone, say goodbye to YouTube and goodbye to Twitch. Bye YouTube, bye Twitch.
Bye, Twitch.
Bye.
Bye bye.